have a lot of locust trees on our property that have giant, gnarly thorns. That's why we called it Big Thorn.
We started the farm about five years ago. We had full-time jobs at the time, but we've slowly made it, so now working out here are our jobs. I'm Aaron, this is Anna, and what we do is we grow things on the farm and we use it in beer now, and that's our business, Big Thorn Farm. We were working at the same restaurant. I was bartending, she was waiting tables.
And then I would get off work and sit at this bar and drink beers and yeah.
And then we had a little apartment. I would brew constantly, like so many beers going in our spare bedroom. And then I went from there, to brewing professionally for about 2 years. And so then, we felt ready. Like I could come design this brewery and brew out here.
It all just sort of happened all at once.
We knew we wanted to do a farm and then use stuff we grow to make beer. The first winter, we did have the camper.
It snowed earlier than any other year. Ridiculously cold. We thought we had maybe 2 more months to keep building and then it would be fine, but...
Even our house is tiny, but we were not done building it.
We didn't have water. We had no power. We had maybe like 1 solar panel. We had no propane.
And we're like, it doesn't matter, we're moving in.
It's kind of a struggle.
Yeah.
I'm sure along the way she was like, what are you doing?
How much money is this gonna cost me?
We built our house, we built a brewery. We were working our butts off.
She's always quietly attained whatever it was that she wanted.
I read a lot of books. I had ideas about things that I thought would work. I felt like I was smart and intelligent school-wise, but I didn't know how to build anything or grow anything. We felt really alive when we would come out here, working with our hands and learning how to do things we'd never done before. We pretty much just wanted to keep it as open as possible. We put in 3 big, giant patio doors so that when you're standing over there, you can see the woods on this side, and you're standing here, you can see the woods on that side, because we thought if you could see further out that it would feel more spacious, and I think it does. It worked.
We're so far removed from any power lines. It was gonna be $10,000, $12,000, something like that to get power back. And I was like, well, let's keep going with this solar. Everything is off grid, and so we've got our solar panels out there. We've got just a little over 4,000 watts. We hardly think about electricity anymore. With the brewery design, I did it in 2 buildings. I built one building where I always call it cook the beer, brew the beer. It's small, just holds the tanks. And I transfer all the beer to this cellar where it controls temperature fluctuations. This is our toasted oak brown, and we've already put the oak logs in there. Basically, it's like a deconstructed barrel, because with a fresh barrel that's charred, you get really nice wood flavors. And so I want to do that with logs versus using a barrel. Really nice, deep wood smell. It's kind of hard to explain, but I don't know, it makes me think of like a comfortable Christmas room or something.
We age all of our beer on logs, but especially with the sours, I think it adds a complexity to the sours that is awesome and unmatched.
And we have all the variety of our woods now versus just like oak barrels. We have hickory, we have cherry, we have sassafras, and you get distinct flavors from all the different woods.
I'm glad we went with the flat label bottle, the label panel bottles.
The thing you read in like homebrew books is that you can't really make good beer until you have like precise control over it, temperature control and everything. And I thought, I don't believe it, because I don't believe that beer 150 years ago was all bad. And beer's been being made forever, and certainly they made good beer. So I was like, well, what were they doing to make good beer then?
Most breweries will put beer in a bright tank, which is the packaging tank, and force carbonate it so they can dial in the carbonation level, precisely. You have to have your beer cold, so you have to get it really cold, usually with your glycol system, which we don't have, before you package it. Otherwise, you'll just have a bunch of foamy beer and it won't work. So for us, that wasn't an option because we don't have the glycol system. We don't have a way to cold crash beer to get it really cold. So we keg condition and bottle condition all of our kegs. So when we package, the beer is still, it's uncarbonated, and we add a small amount of fermentable sugar. The yeast that's still in suspension in the beer eats the sugar and creates CO2 as a byproduct. It's good for us in both ways because we don't have to make the beer cold to package it, but then it removes any oxygen that's in suspension in the beer. Oxygen is the biggest beer spoiler there is. We get added prevention against oxygen spoilage and the beer gets carbonated. It's kind of an old world kind of style.
No batch is going to taste exactly alike. I mean, that's one thing with beers, like, you know, you drink a Budweiser from 10 years ago or from in Germany or whatever, and they all taste exactly the same. Our beer is going to fluctuate with a little bit of temperature, with which the ingredients, how they are, and so every batch is going to have fluctuations. And I think a lot of the techniques you use, like that you learn as a home brewer, like natural carbonation, is how we carbonate, are superior. They make better beer.
We've got Concords and Niagara grapes, and they're looking pretty good this year.
These are looking okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. But last year we harvested them when they were really young, and they made an awesome beer. We made a Goza with them, and they were very dry and tannic and tart, and it was really good. So
Yeah.
these are black currant bushes here. We brew a beer called Pie with these. It's a cinnamon, turmeric, black currant sour. It's delicious. The combinations is just Aaron just walking around trying things, you know, making teas with herbs and seeing, like, does this work? How did these flavors work together? We'll do the rhubarb, like, boil that,
Yeah.
puree it, push it through the sieve, and then we'll add the apple mint tea. Just drinking a few beers at night and letting your brain go. Yeah.
This stuff looks perfect.
I know.
And my original idea with that, you know, with the pale ale, you could really do that again.
I know.
You could do like a piney hop now with the lemon thyme.
Or
That
like
would
with the
be-
yarrow, you could do like the yarrow and the lemon thyme.
Yeah.
Their beer is great. We love tasting different local beers, and I would say this is the best craft beer we've had.
With prairie and the trees and the shade and the sun, so pretty ideal spot.
I don't think there was any question in her mind that if she put her mind to it, that it wasn't going to work. I hope that they will always put quality ahead of quantity, no matter what anybody tells them. I think if Big Thorn can maintain its standards and its quality, they're always going to sell their product.
I can find my way through the trees. So don't wait, fall, me.